They've got me heated today. Okay, like this, I am offended. I'm officially offended, and I really don't know, I'm low key. I'm glass full, not even half full, it's just full, but this, no. We need to talk about this. I need to bring it to your attention, and I need your thoughts. Please verify that I'm not crazy here. Please, okay? This article popped up, and here's the title of the article, okay? Would you mind if Nintendo retired the big Nintendo Direct format? The question alone is upsetting. The question alone is offensive. The question alone, in my eyes, only has one answer. Okay, I understand that this summer has been weird. I know companies change. I know formats of delivering information evolves. I know there was even a quote from Nintendo. I'll pull it up. Back in 2020, when people were like, where's the Direct? Remember they went like 500 days or something? We feel Nintendo Directs are an incredibly effective way to present information directly to our customers in a very straightforward way. Inversely, times change, and so does the most effective way to promote products. So there is a chance that a new, better way to present this information comes about. Based on my life over the last 2 years, Nintendo's idea of a better, more effective way would be random scattered Twitter drops and the occasional partner showcase. No. Unless Nintendo finds a way to directly beam the information into our brains or pull up with a Mario holographic figure at every Nintendo fan's doorstep, no. We cannot lose the big Direct. Okay, this article goes on to make cases for the Directs and against the Directs. And the biggest points against the Directs are that if you put everything in one show, it very much weighs heavily to the big announcements, and the smaller announcements get overlooked. So in a Direct, normally like, a Bayonetta 3 date might be like cool, but not the big shebang. But if it has its own day, its own Twitter, its own trailer, then everyone focuses. And on the other hand, people who aren't interested in, say, Bayonetta or Live Alive, they don't have to sit through that segment of the Direct. They see the tweet, they tune out, and they wait for the Splatoon 3 tweet or the Mario Kart tweet. I understand that point, but if you're telling me that we will sacrifice the glory that is Nintendo Directs so people don't have to sit through a game that maybe we could turn them on to and maybe they actually end up liking, you're crazy. And to that point, I will argue that Nintendo Directs actually elevate titles. They actually put titles on platforms and pedestals that otherwise would not get seen. If Nintendo puts out a tweet about some indie, you probably will scroll past. Like, I might do the same thing. If it's not Hollow Knight or Sports Story or something that I've heard about, I might just scroll past. I don't want to sit through that trailer. I don't want to see their link. But if it's in a Direct, I'm invested. I want to see what the one more thing is. I want to hear the update on Breath of the Wild 2. So I will sit through those games and I will see something that I may not have given the time of day to. I don't buy that. I think that the idea that, it spreads it out, it spreads the wealth. No, I think there's many more eyeballs on Nintendo Directs than there are on random Twitters. Not everybody can be psycho like me and wake up at 5:30 waiting for their Twitter drops, but everybody gets excited for the Directs. And the other big point this article makes against Nintendo Directs is that they're really time-consuming to produce and they have the potential to leak out there. When Nintendo just has a tweet about Kirby's Dream Buffet, ain't nobody gonna see it. Nobody's gonna know about it, and it will be a nice surprise. I love surprises. As a big Christmas morning kid, I love surprises. I love opening something and being like, wow. I don't like when it's all spoiled in advance. And I understand that Nintendo deals with leaks much more than Sony or Microsoft, much more than any other video game company. They have to combat the idea that people really are so invested in their products, they want to know at not all costs, but they really want to know. Reddit, 4chan, Twitter, it's going to be filled with leakers, filled with pseudo-leakers, and filled with information, and occasionally the big drop will be spoiled before it actually drops. But I think that is cool. And I think that that is part of what makes Nintendo different. Do they really want to be Sony and Microsoft where nobody talks about it and then there's just a random Twitter drop? Like, yeah, it sucks if something leaks out, especially if they invest a lot of time in producing the show, but think about the groundswell around that show. Think about how many people are actually so invested that leaks gain traction. Without investment, leaks don't matter, and then you don't have leaks because nobody's invested. And I think that Nintendo cannot afford to miss that the key of Nintendo Directs, the big ones, isn't the spreading of information. It is the communal excitement and anticipation that their fan base feels. And you can't put a price on that. You can't put a digit on that. You can't put a number on that. You cannot put a black or red receipt on that. It's unlike anything else in the Nintendo space. And I supremely feel that part of Nintendo's allure and appeal, because they don't have the graphics, they don't have all the games. Part of their appeal, I think, is that they generate a genuine love for their company and their products. And yes, the games and the gameplay does that, yes. But it's the Nintendo Directs that have really brought us together. And the idea of partner showcases and Twitter drops being Nintendo's method for conveying its future announcements to us is downright disgusting. Can you imagine finding out about Breath of the Wild 2 in a Twitter drop? Like, it just doesn't, I don't see how. Maybe, like I'm no analyst, right? So maybe they look at the numbers and they say, oh, statistically, we sell just as many or more pre-orders without the directs, and it saves us time and it saves us effort, and we don't have to worry about leaks. But it's that unquantifiable part, the Nintendo magic that would be lost forever. Indie worlds are neat and they do generate some pizzazz. Partner showcases sucked, but the last one was good, so maybe the next one can be too. Twitter drops are surprising, shocking, and sometimes nauseating, but they're pretty neat. We would be fine. We'd play the same games. It wouldn't change the end result. But that cliche about it's not about the end result, it's about the process. It's not about the where you go, it's about how you get there. Like that's what makes Nintendo so different for me, and that's what makes it so special. And the idea, the mere suggestion that they would consider changing and that we would ask if we'd be okay with it. This might be a ballsy statement, but I don't know how you can say that you're a Super Nintendo fan. Not the Super Nintendo, but like a really big Nintendo fan. Although I am a fan of the Super Nintendo, but a really big Nintendo fan, and you would not mind if directs go away. I feel like those things can't go together. That's just my opinion. You live for the directs. You live for those moments, and that's where it all comes together. Sometimes they're disappointing. You can't please everybody, but that's part of it. Man, life isn't always easy peasy, and trust me, no direct is way worse than a mediocre direct. Because at least you got there. At least you had the lead up. At least you had the hype. At least you had the experience. I know people get bummed, and I hope Nintendo doesn't sit there and say, oh, we disappointed our fans. It's better if we do it piece by piece so they can cherry pick the announcement that they want. And then if they're interested in Metroid, they'll be excited for Metroid. And if they're interested in Zelda, they'll be excited for Zelda. And if they want to skip out on Mario or Splatoon or everybody's 1-2 Switch, they can. But that's misreading the room, and that's misreading some vocal negative comments that are not indicative of the overall Nintendo mind share. And I think the Nintendo Direct has set the standard and the precedent for every other video game reveal for the last, 5 to 10 years. And I think Nintendo dipping out when they still have the best format, when they still condense so many games and so much info into a great show. Sometimes it's long, but we love it when it's long. And if they reduce it to, hey, we'll do this for third parties, but not for us, we're too cool for that, people get sad about that. Like, I understand it's not the end of the world, but I would be legitimately depressed for a bit. I don't want directs to go away. Like, they have stuck with us generation through generation, and they mean something to me. Do they mean something to you? Are you a Nintendo fan? Is there someone out there that's a big Nintendo fan and is like, yeah, directs can go away. We don't need them. We still play the games. Oh, I'm such an end result person. I hated biking when I was little unless I was going to like Blockbuster to rent a game or Target to pick up a Pokemon pack or the park to play sports. But in my old age, it really is about the journey, and the direct is the journey. So get this article out of here. Yes, they do talk about some good things, right? They say, it focuses on the Nintendo news. Fans love them, all right? They say it's a platform for games that could get lost, which I did bring up. And it says, there's just a lot of anticipation and hype, and so they are covering that. But like this idea that maybe it's okay if they're not, I don't even think we should say it. I don't think we should even put that into the universe. I don't think we should let Nintendo see that. No. Let me know what you think about this. Maybe we can start a discussion. Maybe you won't change my mind, but I'll hear what you have to think. Directs are freaking god tier, and they should stay that way. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. One of the things I'm most passionate about with Nintendo is the directs. We can't lose them. And I can't lose you. I love you all so much. I appreciate you even more. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until the next video or crazy rant, SwitchForce out.